biggest movie right now in the world is the Avengers: Infinity War. So you've seen it? Woo! You seen it once, twice?
Seen it twice.
Seen it twice?
Three
times?
Yeah.
I seen it twice. So you got me on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alerts if you haven't seen it.
Spoiler alert.
But if you haven't seen it by now,
Yeah, it's your fault.
Yeah, it's your fault.
I mean,
You deserve this shit. Take it.
it broke the record for biggest opening weekend, opening Thursday, opening Saturday, like every day. Fastest to $1 billion. It's breaking all that. Now that's out the way. The money wise, how do we feel about the movie? So take it first, man.
You want a ranking? Like 1 to 10?
So we can get to that first. Just talk about the movie itself. How, like what? Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to critique it and rate it,
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, give it a rating. Give it a
Out
rating.
of 10? Mm-hmm. Give it an 8.
Give it an 8.
Yeah.
All right. What you give it?
I'm going with like a high 9.
Ooh, you got 9. Okay.
I can
2
see
hours
8.
and change and kept me like fully entertained through the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then the way they fit each character, like 'cause that's hard to do. I mean, I don't think people realize how many actual comic book characters were in this film
That are relevant.
got good screen time.
Yeah,
Right.
relevant.
Like not like
Everybody
some
got a
quick
line.
bullshit.
Everybody got some jokes.
And it was
in.
just so well written. Each one's because if you ever, obviously I assume you watch the Marvel movies.
Hope so. Let's
Each
see.
one is filmed completely differently. So like the way
Right.
Guardian Galaxy is filmed is not the way Thor's filmed. It's not the way this is filmed. So to watch them all come together and mesh well, phenomenal.
And if you notice too, when you seen the character, their music played. So kudos to the Russo brothers for pulling that off. Because like you said, for them to have different movies and you feel like in that scene you're watching that movie, that mean they paid attention to the other movies and the other directors stuff. So that's impressive in itself. Using the theme song to intro them in, to using the tone of the characters and stuff. That's impressive and stuff. Me myself, I go like an 8. It's not perfect. Like I said, it's definitely hard for what they did to pull that off.
Yeah, my reasons.
You really had to have seen all the other movies to get to this point.
Yeah.
And you should be watching this movie.
And the reason I can't go higher is because you still need to know what's going to happen next. Because they kind of left us with like a cliffhanger of sorts. So this movie itself is self-contained. And it was also given to us from the point of view of Thanos. So he fulfilled his mission.
His prophecy.
Yeah, so he did his thing. So there is closure within the movie. But to the characters, it's like, okay, but we know more has to come because, so.
The reason I give it an 8 is not more so the movie itself. I feel as a fan, I got everything out of this movie. Like John said, the actor, all the comic characters had their shine. They brought the script was working well. Thanos was perfect. I'm giving it an 8 just off of strictly disappointment of the fact that my X-Men and Fantastic Four was not able to be in this movie.
Well, that's contracts and money.
I know. This has nothing to do with the film. It's just that. Can you imagine? This movie would be a 10 if that was in there. That's how great this movie was. It's just that aspect. That one thing. Imagine Wolverine in this movie. And imagine like Human Torch or Mr. Fantastic in this movie, bro. That can bring in Dr.
It's even hard to even think about more people though, because it's like so much. There was so much that went on in this. It's hard to even fathom more characters. Like we didn't get Ant-Man and Hawkeye. They had to take some people out of it just to.
That's what probably build up the next movie, whatever.
Right.
But what I'm saying to you is, like movie like Lord of the Rings, right? How long is that shit?
Just like 3 and change.
Okay.
And delete the scenes.
So you telling me Infinity War gonna get 1 more hour, and you add these characters?
I agree with
the way they wrote the film.
Right.
It would have been crazy.
It's just the studio itself put limits and say y'all
gotta come together.
They still want to market it to be PG-13.
Yes,
so they want it to be, and they figure too, if it's 2 hour, 2.5 hours, they can get more plays on it. So they also think about the money side of it. Like, okay,
I get you.
If it's 3 hours, 4 hours, we can't get so many showings in a day, to make that $1 billion mark which they hit. So they think about that too. So, but I feel you. I mean,
that's the only reason. Besides that, the movies
more characters,
and great. Then villain wise, I mean, Thanos did such a great job. Like his role that he played, just phenomenal. And he kind of. Part of it was very reminiscent to me of Killmonger, whereas although he's the villain, you kind of towards the end understand what he's going through. Like you understand why, and so even like if you think about it, at the end of the day, was he trying to be the bad guy? Like he was trying to balance the universe so everyone else could live. So to sacrifice half so the other half could live instead of them all going. It's actually not that bad of a thing when you think about it. But his way of going about it was definitely the wrong way.
That's why, like, the one part in the movie, like you said, the spoiler alert, when Gamora said to him, "Who are you to choose?" That's the only issue with his mission, because he's not necessarily choosing who dies, but yeah, like, who are you to choose who dies? You feel what I'm saying? So that's the only issue I have with his premise, because, like John said, it does balance the universe. He went about it the right way, and it also shows that. Damn, we've been really gonna get some spoilers, huh?
Fuck it. It's been
it also
2-3
shows
weeks,
when he had to sacrifice Gamora,
right?
That he really was serious about his goal, because that's somebody he loved, and he sacrificed her for the end goal, and that's why I look at it too.
That part was close.
That part was great.
That was the saddest moment to me. That moment of him doing, because even a tear came. That was to me.
Okay.
To me, I know a lot of people say Spider-Man.
He
did such a good job.
I get that, but
you can't kill
to
the
see
kid.
Thanos, like the moment with Thanos, because if you watch the movie, everyone was faced with a point where they could have made a sacrifice, and they did not do it. He went through, like you said, to fulfill his plan, and it hurt him. Yeah, because the first person he saw after he did it was the baby version of her, and she said, "What did it cost you?" He said, "Everything."
Everything.
So he really
that was part of the movie, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To me, that moment was sad. It was interesting the way they played it, and it was actually the most dramatically acted part, because she had to have some emotion, and then to see a CGI character on screen, Josh Brolin did his thing doing the face expression and to CGI, seeing emotion in his face when he looked at her like, yeah, I'm about to kill you.
That was not to cut you off. That was actually the dope part to me, because
that's what I'm
Red
saying.
Skull was like, oh, he's crying for you.
Yeah, like he looked at her. She's like, how? You don't love nobody.
Yeah, he's crying for you.
He about to.
He about to body, and the way he tossed her was crazy.
Right.
Look at his toss.
But it even felt he took, and it was like you said, as a villain and as the antagonist of the movie, we felt away for him. Like, damn, like he did that, right? So it was like he pulled us in from jump. Like, yo, he's badass. But then it's like we got an emotional side of him, and we see how dedicated he was to his goal, and it was just like, yo, I felt for that moment. That was the saddest part to me. Like, that moment.
I ain't gonna lie, but Peanut seen Spider-Man die, she was going
yeah, a lot of people were cool, and he was like, Mr. Stark,
I don't feel right.
That was emotional too, but I feel like all of them. Two things that took away from that from me was, one, all of them had that moment, and two, his movie comes out next year.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like it was like that. Knowing that kind of took away from that moment. Right. With Gamora, we really don't know if she's gonna come back, because they said they're gonna do a Guardians 3, but they also said it's gonna be a whole new cast of Guardians. They throwing in the other characters we saw in part 2. So we don't know when the transition happens.
If
the Guardians rotate.
Yeah, I'm about to say that.
Yeah.
And if the Infinity Wars, you already know if we know who the next person is supposed to save everything. Right. It's going to be. We really don't want to go too crazy with spoilers. Right. But, But
we know how they're going to do it, because it would be Adam Warlock, but they're not. They said they're not introducing him in the next. They're going to do him in Guardians. So we'll see. But
how they going to do it? Right. What I was going to say was, what was your favorite part of the movie?
My favorite part of the movie?
Oh my God.
Whew, it's a lot of favorites, man. I was hooked from the jump. I mean, once he showed up, seeing the CGI, and then when Hulk was getting at him, but then he took that and was like, "Hi, my turn," and then he was giving him some moves. So from the opening scene, I was hooked. I don't know what my favorite part was. Man. I'm trying to think.
Nah, it's a hard one. I think because it was the biggest turning part of the movie, it probably was the Thanos Gamora thing.
The Gamora scene?
That
was emotional.
That was the most emotional.
It was like, it almost brought me. I hate to do the cliche thing, but it almost brought me to like the Pride Rock when like Scar throws him off. Like I was like, but you can't.
Right. I did not see that coming. Like, when we got to that part, I was like, oh, it's out. But before that, I didn't know, because for the longest 10 years of movies, we didn't know what the Soul Stone was. We didn't know, so we didn't expect her to be such a big part of
crazy
the
too. Remember in the original Captain America, when Red Skull, I never really noticed that he did that shit. Right. Now I had to go back and watch it.
You see him teleport.
Yeah,
he doesn't die. Like, we first thought he just died.
What happened to him?
Right. He really shoots up into space.
But I'm gonna tell y'all, for me,
what's your favorite part?
Was the ending when what's the name? Scarlet Witch. She took the shit out, and Thanos.
Oh, he came in
and he rewound it. Yeah, yo, that was ill. And then when Thor threw
his chest.
Yeah. And I said, because at first I was tight because I thought Thanos was gonna die.
Right.
So I was like, they don't do this like how the comic is.
Right.
We're gonna have a problem. And then he was trying to speak, and then Thor was looking at him.
Should've went for the head.
He should have went for the head, and he snapped. I was that solidified it for me.
Yeah.
That's when I said this movie was crazy.
Yeah.
From beginning to end.
Beginning to end, yeah.
That was
The
it.
fact of getting to watch like my heroes as a kid.
Yeah, as a kid, bro.
On the screen, and then on top of that, get to watch 10 years of films,
Right.
slowly all roll. Like this has never been done before. Like no one's ever even came close to something like this. So to watch
For
10
real.
years of films slowly roll into this one
Like
huge
one
thing.
long story, yeah.
And then to know that there's gonna be a second part of this whole story in
more
a
coming.
year,
Right.
like what the fuck?
What more can you give me?
Right.
'Cause that was amazing. It was, it was.
That was hype in itself. Like I said, from beginning to end, I was like, yo, what do y'all got in store? Like, and to see the bad guy win,
He won.
he got his mission fulfilled. Whatever happens next, like I said, but in this movie, the bad guy won. Do we say Thanos is the greatest villain in movies of all time? Have we seen a villain in the movies, not just the comic itself, but in movies
In my heart.
now, in movies?
We kind of went back and forth on it a little for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
You put up a meme where it was like what was it? It's Thanos as like Shook Knight, and it was like for all y'all Toddy villains like come over here.
Yeah.
And then like I sent you like I was like hold on, I'll let you finish. But Heath Ledger is the best Joker of all time. It's hard because like that was a pure dramatic acting role for Heath Ledger, like as a character, and he made you. He brought you into that world. 'Cause I remember when he first got casted, I was like, the dude from Brokeback Mountain. Like,
right.
it's gonna be terrible.
Right.
And then the way he did that role, like it's still one of the best
I could watch it over.
things I've seen ever. Like forget a comic book movie, one of the best roles I've ever seen ever.
You got it to a T.
But then like this, just alone the Gamora scene alone like, added so much to his character that I was like, fuck, like
This is what it is for me. The most powerful villain I ever seen in the movies is Thanos. Regardless of the fact of whatever y'all may say, no one can defeat Thanos at the end of the day if he's at his peak. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. There are people that have defeated him, but what I'm saying is, at his peak, ain't no way beating that dude.
Right.
But like John said, bro,
You still got the Joker?
I was gonna agree. I was gonna say that. I have never, we have seen Jack Nicholson. We have seen a lot of people play the Joker. Heath Ledger, if he killed that shit, bro. Like I can watch that over and over just because of his acting. I believe the Joker was a real person, son. I've never seen nothing like that.
With Thanos?
No, I did.
But not like that CGI was
what
great.
I'm saying is, see the CGI,
The emotion and stuff was still.
the CGI for what's his name? Roland. What's his name?
Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
For him, sadly, since it wasn't him, that's the CGI. It kind of takes away from.
I mean, he
that
did
part.
the facial
He did
expression.
the facial
When you
expression.
watch the face, when you watch the face, he's making emotions and stuff. With the face. Like I think they did a great. Because I think it's like a camera that's like right there. So he's doing the facial expressions. I think that's even harder.
I think the thing is, like
the
thing is
walk.
like fucking like,
everything.
the way he changed, like the way Heath Ledger changed his voice for certain
oh
things,
my
and like
God,
even though like that little I can't do it, but like that little tick he had that he would do occasionally,
Right.
bro. And then even like the obviously this has to do with script writing as well.
Yeah.
But the lines stay in your head. Like to this day, still like you wanna know how I got these scars? Like it's just in your head.
wanna
Like
know how I got these
like
scars?
oh, I like love it.
One of my favorite parts of that movie is when the truck flips over. He gets out and he starts shooting at Batman, right? He's like, come on, come on. And he's walking. So you remember when Batman falls off the bike?
Yeah.
And he goes up to him and his henchman gets electrocuted. He goes, like that, right? You know what I'm saying? It's how he switched.
Gotcha.
He fucking switched from like one emotion to another like that.
He became that character.
I'm sorry, bro. I have to give it to him. He walked the way he walked.
Yeah.
Everything, bro. Like it was like, yo, I believe Joker's real.
Gotcha.
That's facts. And that's just it. And shout out to what's his name too, Christian Bale, because he killed Batman. He's the best Batman ever too. Probably.
I think to me, and you know,
Oh, don't say the blasphemous.
to me, top 3 is definitely Darth Vader, Joker, and I think Thanos is up there in the top 3 now. And I think it may take some time, but if we watch this movie over in time, I think we may. Now, I agree with you on the quotables. We don't have the Joker quotables, but I just think
The impact.
The impact.
Yeah,
Thanos, like to me,
even that one quotable, just the like, what did it take from you? Like everything. That's a hard quotable.
And he should have went for the head.
But, yeah.
Like he has.
You should have went for the head.
I think in time,
I
I think in time we may look back at that. Like we might watch this a couple years later, but like, yo, this movie was crazy.
Because that's one of the things that you talked about.
Because Darth Vader was that. You know, again, the movie following. You know, Darth kind of had a turn. Well, actually, not even that movie following, but when they did the prequels, and then we got more of his backstory. People felt a different kind of way about Darth Vader, but in the beginning, Darth Vader was like that feared guy for years. You know, he just had a presence. And even now, when they did Rogue One, that one scene at the end of Rogue One, where he just walks into the thing, you hear the breathing, you hear the and then the lightsaber just lights up the room. That movie give you chills. That scene give you chills. So Darth Vader still has that in it. But I think Thanos, when he walked through the bubble, when he walked through the teleport, like, that moment gives you that.
Especially,
we about to die.
Moment,
especially that last scene, like when he's coming through and the Hulk and what's it? That's him.
They feel the breeze.
They feel the breeze. The leaves is falling. That's
they
him.
Made him.
I know.
With a aura of villainy, and like I said, it's established from scene one when you think, okay, we got a Hulk, and they're like, yeah, Hulk's mad. Hulk. So he just like instantly, you know.
To follow yours, top three. I never really was a Star Wars fan, so I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I know.
So for me,
cut that
number one is Joker, son. I don't give a he killed it. Thanos would be number two, and just because Darth Vader is who he is, and everybody knows who he is, he would be my number three.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've never seen somebody take a role like that and make me. And maybe because I'm a comic fan, I used to read it. And the Joker, I have a book on the psychology of Batman. And there's no Joker psychology. He has multiple personalities. He's all over the place. And the thing is, it's like he embodied all of that, bro. He draws you in, and that's why it's so tragic that he died right after it, because it's like he left me when he left me. We're like, damn, can I get some more?
Because he was going to be the third one. He was going to be the third one. They had to change it up.
Even the dude that played Harvey Dent killed it, and he's underrated for that. He killed that too. That's how good that movie was.
Right.
Don't forget about the dude that played Harvey Dent. He killed it too. But Thanos was ill.
So Infinity War versus Dark Knight.
That's hard for me.
Because you got Harvey and Joker, but
on that argument, I mean, it's hard because one, I've seen Dark Knight.
Right. That's it.
When it came out, I saw it 4 times in the first weekend.
Right.
I saw it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's hard. It's really hard to argue that one, but I would still probably, and only seeing it twice, I'd still probably go with Avengers.
Yeah, I would too.
Because to see all my characters, all my heroes, because Batman. Like
Batman's my favorite.
Batman's my favorite from DC overall, and the Joker, but it's because it's villain, so I got to see his best villain in my opinion, which is Joker. But I got to watch almost the entire cast of my Marvel universe come together.
It's like a game. It's like a storyboard that's coming to life. You know what I mean? And honorable mention for number 4 for me. Scar from Lion King.
Okay. Not mad at that.
Body. One of my favorite villains, bro.
But let me know y'all top 3. So since we get to talk about the top 3 villains, comment below.
I don't got a top 3.
You don't got a top 3? Just Joker.
Man. Thanos is definitely up there. Thanos. I really don't care for Star Wars. I do feel his presence because even as a kid, not growing up and caring about Star Wars, you knew he meant business. And it's too new to
choke somebody without even having to touch him. Like
he's too young and it's too fresh. But at the same time, like Killmonger did it for me, man.
Killmonger's
I love it. The way he did that role, like Michael B. Jordan killed it. Like everything from like his little like hey auntie, like just his little pieces here and there. And then of course, everyone's favorite quotable from the movie, like Killmonger's up there. And then if you're talking like just comic book movie, like villains in general, probably like villains for movies in general, would probably Heath Ledger, Thanos, and then the dude from No Country for Old Men, because that was a sick twisted role, like. But I mean, that's
share your top 3 with us. Let us know. We're not the end all be all. We value everybody's opinion, but these guys never saw Star Wars anyway. So
I've seen every one except for The Last Jedi.
Fuck Star Wars.